Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, podcast, wherever you're catching the coffee chat today. So glad you are here. I have my coffee in hand, my Lucy's drive-through coffee. Hope that you got your coffee, or your coffee of choice. For some of you, that may be Diet Coke or Mountain Dew. But I'm glad that you are here with me today. If you have a question or something you'd like to talk about, please text it to 833-792-6372. Looking forward to today's coffee chat. Thank you all for being here. You have made it to Friday. Woohoo! Great job. Yancey's online with me. Good morning, Yancey. I got an email from Yancey this morning, and I don't know, I read the email and I thought, I need to text her and see if she'll jump on the coffee chat with me this morning. Thanks for being here, Yancey.
Thanks for having me.
Now, last week on the coffee chat or earlier this week?
I think it was last week.
You had on your fancy outfit that matched your.
Did I have on something fancy? I don't even remember, but just polka dots today.
Just polka dots. Okay. It's all good.
Yes.
All right. So Yancey, you sent an email to your email list today, and I've seen you said a couple things on Facebook about this, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That a year ago, I think you said God put something on your heart.
Yeah.
And what a timely project. Will you talk to us about it?
Yeah. So literally like a year ago, last May, I was performing at a Christian school event here pretty close to home in Tennessee. And there had been something that I saw in one of the performances that night that just triggered something for me. And so on the drive home, I literally started writing the song and recorded it in my phone and all that, and then have been planning for this song Made in the Image to be part of the new little praise party Ready, Set, Go. Had a friend of mine who's an independent songwriter artist named Erskine, who is a Black male that I had sing on the song with me. And this song is just about the truth of God's word, that we're made in the image of God, and that God so loved the world, and that his love is what changes the world. And so totally, this song has been in the works for a year, and just I've been releasing one song at a time, and just the way it was planned, Made in the Image was supposed to come out June 12th. And last week, when everything kind of started happening, Erskine actually called me and he was like, "Hey, when is that song coming out?"
That's fun.
And I was like, "Well, technically June 12th, but you're making a very good point. Let me see what I can do." So I threw the video up on YouTube last weekend just so that families could start experiencing it and churches could share the video with their families through that link. And then we got the video live on worshipHouseKids.com yesterday or the day before.
When are we going to get your stuff on kidsmatter.com?
I know. I don't know what happened. My people were talking to your people. We got to sort that out.
Has Mark said anything to you about it?
He has. Good,
okay. It's in the works.
Yeah.
It's in the works.
Yeah.
I don't like you telling people they got to go somewhere else to get your song. They need to be able to get it at Kids Matter.
Yeah. Well, we need to get on that.
We can. We will.
Yeah, so we have the video up for download. The audio will still go live on June 12th as originally planned, as far as just listening to the song, Apple Music and Spotify and stuff. But, it definitely, looking back on it, it's one of those timely things where I had no idea. I honestly thought the hot topic part of this song was going to be more of a gender issue that I specifically talk about in the song, that God created male and female. So that was definitely kind of what I imagined was going to be the touchy subject for people. But, clearly it's a situation where God knows and God goes before us. And I'm thankful that he leads and guides and prompts our heart, and just little decisions that were made in the creation of this song and video, I know will speak volumes to our world and our Christian community. And I'm just thankful that, when you listen to God's voice, he leads you down the path that you need to go. And so I hope that this song will be a very big blessing to churches and kids ministries and families just to approach this subject and talk about how God made us all.
I think it's going to be. Here it is on worshiphousekids.com.
Yeah.
And Yancey and I were joking earlier, but we are working on getting her videos at kidsmatter.com. But go check this out. This is a great song with a great message, maybe something that you want to purchase and download and even use in your KidMin this weekend.
Yeah. And if it is on the full Ready, Set, Go bundle, which This is the church bundle. This is the new DVD just for homes and for families. This is packed full of a lot more resources. But even if you hop on yanceyministries.com/ready, set, go, if you want to get the full bundle of songs, just order it, send us an email. We'll gladly send you the link to Made in the Image right away. So you can start using that. But that way you get the full bundle of songs too.
Well, that's what you need to do, KidMin, because you need all of these songs. And so you need to go to
yanceyministries.com/ready, set, go.
All right, Andy, I'm going to let you drop that in because I can't talk and type at the same time. Andy will drop that into the comments. Go check that out. Yeah, Yancey, we love you. You're such a champion in the KidMin community, and you're making a big difference. And
well, I love everybody, and I'm excited. It's one of those moments right now where you realize the harvest is ripe, and so we all need to be working together, doing our part, playing our part, so that the gospel can move forward. So
that's exactly right. Hey, it's Yancey.
Yes.
Go check out that song.
Check out Made in the Image. Yeah. Share the link from YouTube with your families. Do a quick social media post. Tell them to go check it out. And send families there. So
Yancey, thanks for jumping on the coffee chat.
Thanks for having me. I even have my coffee too.
Have you already been to Starbucks?
I'm not gonna lie. My sister brought it to me. So
you've got a nice sister.
I do have a good sister.
I like that Whitney girl. She's pretty.
I know.
Mom and Dad did pretty good.
Little sisters.
Yeah.
Younger, taller sisters are good.
Now, what are these boys of yours doing these days?
Growing a ton.
Yes, they are.
I feel like the season of quarantine has been like major growth. Like, I don't know. It just feels like they've grown so much the past few months. Yeah. When I walked in here, they were both on their iPads.
Are you serious?
But yes, we've been playing with some friends this week, getting some families together. That's been fun, and doing karate, and Sparrow's been reading a bunch, which is fun. So I've been trying to champion that as much as possible. But it's the Sparrow's first week out of school, so
okay.
I'm taking it easy this week.
Hey, there you go.
Thanks so much
for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, keep in touch. Love you.
Okay, we'll do.
Bye-bye. Well, thank you. Go check out Yancey's new project. We just dropped the link in one more time for you. You can get the Ready, Set, Go package at yanceyministries.com/ready, set, go. A dear friend of mine is a kids pastor. His name is David Richards. David and I first met. David, jump on here with me as soon as you're ready. David and I feel like we first met, was it at Children's Pastors Conference? Like 23 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think we both had a little more hair up here, and definitely we both didn't have gray coming through.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was at a Children's Pastors Conference. Do you?
It was. I think it was CPC down in Florida when we first connected down there. I was actually on staff at a church in Fort Myers.
That's right. And David, tell us where you're at today.
I am in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, at a great church, Christian Life Assembly, just across the river from Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania.
Gotcha. And you've been there for 5 years now?
7 years, actually.
7 years. That's
right. Yeah, it's coming up on 7 years.
That's crazy.
They say time flies when you're having fun, but man, they didn't tell you that the fun would include things like this. So, but
yeah, they didn't, did they? Now, David, I think we're about the same age. I know you're not supposed to ask girls how old you are, but I can ask you. How old are you?
We are the same age. Absolutely. How old are you, Ryan?
Oh my gosh, I'm 40. I'm Turning 45 this summer.
Yeah, no, I'm actually turning 53 in December.
Really?
Yes. In fact, I was laughing at myself this morning because I was talking to a friend of mine about birthdays, and I thought I was still 50 years old, not realizing that 2 years have flown by so quickly. But you are as old as you feel and act sometimes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, when did you start in children's ministry?
I started in kids ministries actually in Oregon,
Okay.
just in Salem, Oregon, and just man, haven't shifted on that. I think it's been what in kids and family ministry now going on 30 years.
Really? So
Yeah.
did you pretty much after college or in your 20s, did you just start in children's ministry or did you do something before?
Well, my wife and I were involved in kids ministries at our local church. Actually, our church was, I'm not trying to turn the subject, but our church was actually on Lake Street, right downtown Minneapolis.
Okay.
And so we were at Christ Church International Church. I was actually the church administrator, couples and singles pastor, but my wife and I worked with kids ministries. And before that, we were actually youth pastors. So we did a mix of things before we found Jesus in kids ministries. Let's just say it that way.
Love it. Now, David, one thing you and I have been talking about lately is everybody's doing so much Zoom, and I know you've kind of felt in your words like a little zoomed out, and so you've had to rethink, not necessarily rethink it, but be a little more intentional with your Zoom.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, in fact, we were at the Assemblies of God Kid Men Conference down in Texas when we were getting phone calls from family members saying that there's a raid on toilet paper, and we were in Texas at restaurants and stores going, what do they mean they're out of toilet paper and hand sanitizer? But when we came back, we realized that we weren't going to be able to meet in our church anymore, so we had to be very cutting edge in what we could. And, I think many of us in kids ministries have been on Zoom for quite a few years, where other ministries and even other pastors and staff members never knew what Zoom was for a while. That's so we've all been on the cutting edge, right?
Yep.
And so we, a great friend of ours, right, Brian Dollar, he has always continued to, with their church. My dad's on staff with them down there, and Rod Lloyd. Yes, my dad was music ministry for a number of years. He's actually with the Latino ministry that they have there now as well. And
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, that's why I've known Brian for as long as I have as well. So
that's cool.
But we realized that, hey, we need to do the same thing, and so we started finding key leaders in our kids ministries that know how to do video, really coached us through it. And I remember our pastor said, now, if you're going to do this online video, it better not be cheesy. Well, you can't tell kids leaders that. We're cheesy all the time. Come on. And but we will bring excellence to the cheesiness. And
there you go.
And so, but we've got a great team. We've got a team that produces and puts together our preschool, a team that puts our elementary, and so now we do online kids church. But along the way, we realized that, hey, we need to stay connected to the kids, right?
Yeah.
And so we have our Wednesday night leaders, our Sunday leaders that are still to this day weekly connecting with every kid that's a child that's from ages 3 all the way up through. Actually, our church is doing all the way up through high school and college as well. So,
are they making calls? Are they sending cards? What are they doing?
Well, we sent postcards out. We sent over 700 postcards to our kids, and you get a little hand cramp when you're writing.
Yes, you do, don't you?
So
but it's worth getting a hand cramp about, isn't it?
Because, yes. Yeah. And I'll be honest, half the postcard was pre-printed. But we still I spent many nights, but we still connect Zoom calls, phone calls, emails. We do family gatherings on the weekends and then throughout the week. So we're trying to do it. But, Ryan, early on, when I talked about zoomed out early on, man, we jumped on and there were many, many nights I was up till 4, even 6 o'clock in the morning, producing and putting things together and working on things. And eventually, man, I got zoomed out. I literally got zoomed out. And I wanted to turn off all social media. I wanted to stop the videos, everything else. But you know how it is, man. When you lead a ministry, great leaders, you can't stop. You got to keep it going.
Yeah, you do. And you're doing, David, you're doing some of the best, I think some of the sharpest content you're creating for your kids out there. You're doing a great job. You ought to
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Last question for you. What are you doing to, are you finding that the kids are actually showing up? Are you doing something to help them show up, to incentivize them to show up? What's that looking like?
Yeah. So one thing, I think families got zoomed out as well.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but they were kind of, and so now families are picking and choosing. That's the reality of it. They're picking and choosing, trying to manage the online that their kids are involved in. And so we're trying to keep up with creating fun and creative ways of staying and keeping kids engaged. So one thing that leaders are doing is they're trying to create activities with the kids, with our family Zoom that we do, the family gathering that we do. We have jars of candy, and every Sunday the kids have to guess how many pieces of candy. And so the variety of candy and gum, they're all individually wrapped. One of our leaders said, try nerds. Those don't work. Those are too tiny, hard to count. They get, you eat half of them. But with the jars of candy, we show that, and then we hand deliver those for the winning guests. We hand deliver them throughout the week. We use the Kids Fire Bible in our online services. Yep. And so we have actually handed out over almost 50 Fire Bibles, hand delivered them, because families want to engage with the online services. And so we've driven them out there. And that's another way that we try to keep them engaged. We try to use the games, scavenger hunts, things like that. But, you try to be as creative as you can, just trying to keep the kids engaged there as well. And then, one thing we're going to do is we're going to do a virtual vacation Bible school. Okay. We're actually connected with Josh Denhart with Kidman Science. Yep. And we're doing Faith Lab at home. And as of today, we have over 140 families representing about 250 children. My word. That are going to do this. And it replaces our mega summer camp that we do. And we're going to have fun with it. In fact, I've got the kit. I had to show you here. We're already putting the kits together. They'll come to the church, pick up the resources. So inside the kits, we have all the supplies that we're doing for all the science experiments. And so we're giving every family a home supply kit. They'll pick it up the Saturday before. And then we actually start the camp virtual Monday through Friday, June 22nd through the 26th. We'll do a live engagement. And then let the families self-run themselves throughout the day. And then we'll follow up each day with some challenges and reporting. So we're trying to keep the kids engaged. Otherwise, it's easy to shut everything off and walk away.
Yep, and that's a key. And you're doing a great job. And that's a lot of work putting all those bags together, too. But
our team's doing a fantastic job, Brian.
David, you're a good friend. Thanks for being such a Kidman champion and such a great part of the I Love Kidman community.
Thank you. Hey, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you keeping all of us connected. You're engaging kids leaders all over the world by offering what you are. It's not keeping us busy. Remember Corey Ten Boom, right?
There you go.
We're not doing that. And by the way, I had tea with her when I was in kindergarten. My grandparents were missionaries back when I was little, back in the early 70s. So that means a lot when I hear you quote that as well.
So you got to meet her as a little kid.
I did in the home too, and yes, I really didn't put those pieces together till I get older and really appreciated it. But vivid memory of it all.
She's one of my heroes of the faith for sure.
Same here.
Love you, David. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, love you. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks so much, buddy.
Yep. See ya. Thanks for joining me.
All right, bud.
All right, David Richards is a great kids pastor. If you're not friends with David Richards on Facebook, find him on Facebook. He's part of the I Love Kidman community. Remember, if you have something you want to talk about or a question, please text it to 833-792-6372. Tricia, why don't you jump on here with me? I've invited Tricia Peach to join me on the coffee chat this morning, and she graciously accepted. Good morning, Tricia. Now, you're not driving as you're doing this, are you?
No, sir. No
You
way.
promise? Okay.
I promise.
All
I
right.
promise. Okay. Got my coffee?
And you got your coffee. Is it from Lucy's Car Wash?
No, I got it from Karuba in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin. Quick Trip is a big thing. Everybody goes over to Quick Trip in northern Wisconsin.
Is that where you live in northern Wisconsin?
Yes, right up by Appleton, Wisconsin.
Okay. So do you know Chris Smole at Appleton Alliance
I
Church?
do. Yes.
I didn't
Oh,
know
she's
that's
a
where
good
you
friend
live.
of mine.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
She's pretty legit.
She's amazing. She's amazing. I had to have a partner for something for my master's degree, and I chose her because I just wanted to learn everything I could from her. She's
That's
just
cool.
incredible.
Yeah, she is. She is incredible. Well, Trish, if nobody, or Trisha, did anybody call you Trish? Or does
Anybody,
everybody call you
it doesn't
Trisha?
matter to me, either one.
Okay. So Tricia, for someone who's never met you before, I know you're an active part of the I Love Kidmin community and doing a lot of great things. Tell us, who is Tricia Peach, and tell us about a little bit about your family and your ministry.
Oh, sure. I appreciate the opportunity. I worked as a full-time staff children's pastor for 17 years. I started out with, I think the first church I was at, I started out with 14 kids.
Okay.
And when I went to Christian Life Center in Dayton, Ohio, hi everybody in Dayton, Ohio.
Yep.
I started with 300 kids, and within 9 months, we were running 600 on a Sunday morning. So it grew really fast. Our Awana group, we had 50, and very quickly we grew to 300. Our leaders, we had 100, we grew to 276. I got some great opportunities then to go teach for a little bit in Swaziland, Africa. And during that time, I thought, I feel like the principles of kids ministry are, some of them are the same, regardless of church size or even culture.
Mm-hmm.
And now I understand, because I have served in very small churches, medium-sized churches, and more recently, the larger mega churches. There are big differences, yes, but some of the principles of kids ministry are the same. And part of the things that helped us grow worked in every place. So I decided to write my first book, Your Children's Ministry, from scratch, about those principles of kids ministry, just basic, how to launch a kids ministry, whether you're on the mission field or relaunch one that has been dying. And I did not expect that to have the response it did. It's in 17 countries, 9 languages, and it's a textbook at several Bible colleges.
Nice.
So then I came out with the second book, and it became a textbook, and then the third one just came out. And the third one is not really exactly kids ministry related. It's about why so many leaders quit ministry and never come back. Mm. And it has some really gut-wrenching stories in there, but yeah. I felt like they needed to be told. So I have been married now for 21 years to an amazing guy, Scott Peach. He is an IT director and an introvert.
Okay.
So the two of us, we work well together when we do kids ministry. I'm doing ventriloquism on stage and he's running sound in the back and never wants to come out. We have 2 incredible kids. Our son is about to turn 17. He is high functioning autistic, which I've talked about on my YouTube show before. Yep. And that was part of what got me into a look at ministry and special needs kids and their families. And then, our daughter is almost 15. That's hard for me to say, but I'll have 2 high schoolers next year. And that's me in a nutshell. I travel now with my kids, I travel with my kids and we do kids ministry and teach out of the books and do kids shows and kids camp, stuff like that.
Very cool. Tell us, I want to talk with you for just a few minutes about, you have a child with special needs, as Beth and I do. Whether you have a child with special needs or not, I think coming back, as kids come back to church, it's going to be, there's going to be an adjustment. And difficulties, especially with those kids with special needs. Talk to us about that. What are a few things we can do to help kids as they come back, especially those with special needs, but really all kids in general? Any thoughts?
Oh my goodness, that's such a great question. We're facing that right now at our church. And we're kind of helping with a church relaunch right now. And here you had the kids had kids church. They had their routine. They knew this is the way it was going to be. And now everything is on its ear. And as you know, when you have a child with some special needs, routine is so crucial. Routine is so important. They thrive on routine and schedule and black and white rules. And for these poor kids, everything has shifted. I mean, even the typical neurotypical kids, everything has shifted. School went to being at home. Their sports is canceled. They're like Awana, they can't go to Awana. Everything that they knew is different. Like some of them knew, one little boy that I would teach, and Tuesday night was his cheese curd night. Tuesday night, Down syndrome, and that was his thing. And then trying to explain to him that he cannot go out Tuesday nights anymore for cheese curds. And so all this change, and now some of them, when they go back to church, they're expecting that to be the same. But our church, as well as others, there isn't going to be traditional kids ministry right now. We're doing, each family is sitting together 6 feet apart.
Yep.
At least for a while. And then we have a kids ministry kit that each one gets every week so that they can have something to do during the service. And then we are actually doing family service where there are elements that are specifically targeted to children, but it certainly changes the dynamic. We've actually had to speak to the adults and say, we have to be patient and understanding right now because it's going to be noisy. It's going to be noisier. You're asking small children to pay attention for long periods of time. I feel like it was good for our team because we've had to stretch and say, we can't just have a regular service here and tell the kids to sit down and be quiet. That's not fair. That's not a family service. So like this Sunday, I'm doing some ventriloquism with my puppet, and one of our kids' team is doing activities with them. So the adults are actually loving it, though. The adults are really loving those creative changes to the service. But I think we have to understand that especially for special needs kids that thrive on routine and they show up at church, everything is different. Nothing is the same. And they've had so much upheaval as it is. They may not be acting up, so to speak. They may be just expressing frustration. I ran into a lady. I gab wherever I go, but I was talking to the lady at the video rental place, and I don't even know if she's a Christian, but she was just explaining how frustrating this was with a special needs child who's autistic, and they require the mask at the dentist, and he completely melts down. And they won't let her go back there with him. And I've heard from other parents with orthodontist visits, doctor's visits, same thing. And then we go to church. I think we have the tendency for that same problem because now everything's different there too.
That's right.
Where we had check-in, we had check-out, we had, this is what we do each time, and now we don't do that, and I'm supposed to sit still. I think the best thing we can do is be cognizant of that this is going to be a challenge, not just for those kids, but for their parents. We did have a few parents say, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know how I'm going to be able to sit and listen to the service. So we have cry rooms available right now. It's something we're just having to navigate as it comes along. I think it's really, really important, though, to try to emphasize for these kids what is still the same. God is still the same. He's not going to leave you. We still love you. We still care. You're still important. The church is still here. And to establish some kind of schedule and routine, whatever it is, high-fiving them when they come in, giving them a little here you go, always keeping our word, that if we say next week we're going to do this, that we do it. Establishing those routines is super important. And then thirdly, trying to reassure them that they're not going to lose everything. Because I think for a lot of kids, even our typical kids, they feel like they've lost so much, then their mind goes to, what else am I going to lose? What is permanent and what am I going to lose? And I don't know. And trying to emphasize what's permanent, that I'm here and I care about you.
Yeah.
I talked to a young man who's older. I mean, he's 16 and he was acting really weird. And I was asking him what was wrong, and come to find out his dad had died of cancer. And he said, all I can think about is, with this COVID stuff, I'm going to lose my mom and be an orphan. Who am I going to lose next? Is my pastor gone too? Who else am I going to lose? And just trying to reassure them that things do change, but God's love does not.
I love it. Love it. Trisha, why do I always call Trish? Thank you for sharing. I hope that we all are reminded from this conversation that let's be very, very understanding that there's going to be a lot of kids that it's going to take them some time to adjust back. And Trisha, you've helped us be reminded of the importance of being understanding of that. And also, just reminding them of what is consistent and what is the same. Thank you for what you're doing. Thanks for being such a great voice in the children's ministry community. How can we stay connected with you?
Oh, well, thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for all you do. You kind of bring us all together, bring all these voices together. I love it. I love going through and reading everybody else's stuff too.
Same here.
You can see what I'm up to at www.kidman.ninja. Yes, my husband picked that one out, kidman.ninja. Also, I always answer my emails, Trisha@peach.im. I'm on Facebook as Pastor Trisha, and I always answer when somebody emails me. And to all the parents out there with kids with some special needs, you're not alone. You're not wrong. It's tough right now, and your church does care about you. We care, and we're going to get through this.
That's right. Trisha Peach, thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right. God bless. Thanks for jumping on. Keep in touch.
You bet.
All right. Connect with Trisha. She's got a lot of great books and resources. Kidman.ninja. Love it. Kidman.ninja. All right. We've had a great coffee chat today. Thanks for joining me. It is Friday, so I won't see you again on the coffee chat until Monday, but we will be back on Monday. Hey, if you're looking for some fresh resources to help you in your children's ministry, jump over to kidsmatter.com. We probably have a dozen new downloads in the last 24 hours. And not just games. Let me show you some of the new stuff. Real or fake is new. Thumbs up, thumbs down is new. Now this is a fun one, okay? Watch this. This is how it works.
It's time to play thumbs up or thumbs down. Pick which one you think it will land on. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you are right, you get to stay in the game. If you get it wrong, you're out. Let's go.
All right, yeah.
Thumbs up. If you pick thumbs up, you are still in the game.
All right, that's how that one works. That's a lot of fun. There's each one of those has like 4 or 5 rounds, I think. And love it or leave it is new. Name that food is new. Name that food's a brand new game just added last night. Here's how it works. That's it. Hey, Andy, jump on here with me quick. If you can hear me. All right, what's different? Hey, How'd you do on that one? Did you guess walking taco?
Yeah, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah. I mean, there's no one here to verify that, but yeah.
You did? Promise?
No.
All right. You can go. I just want to see if you got it right.
Oh,
Thanks for jumping on Zoom with me. Only took you about 30 seconds. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That
well,
awkward
thanks
silence you put me in. All right.
thanks for bringing me on just to humiliate me.
Yeah, no problem. That's what friends are for. All right, here's another new one. What's different? This is fun. The kids watch the screen. Guess what's different? This one's kind of easy. Probably flop it. There it is. And then some of them are easy like that, some are hard. Now, a lot of these games like that one, it's a video format, but it also comes with just slides that you can drop into ProPresenter or Keynote PowerPoints if you want to click through instead of playing the video. So a lot of new games on here, guys and girls. I mean, so many of these. Most of these on this page are new within the last 3 or 4 days. But then there's more than just on-screen games that are new. We've got a new song today. That song is going to be free to those of you that are part of Kids Matter Pro. Come on and dance. You get that today for free. We have new curriculum on here. These were just added today. The spiritual warfare teaching series, the creation teaching series, life versus teaching series. These are all brand new on today. This premier small group study for preteens and moms was just added to the site yesterday. This is brand new, and Grow Like Jesus, a summer growth plan, was just added yesterday. This is a really cool thing that families can do at home. Look at this. It's all downloadable. You print it. Super cool. It's a growth plan for kids to help them improve in specific areas of their lives. I'm pretty pumped about that new resource. So it's all here. Remember, Going Pro has perks. Several of you this week joined. This is only a week old, Kids Matter Pro, where you get a free magazine subscription. You get 3 free downloads every month, although this month everybody's going to get 4 downloads every month. And then we do a monthly Q&A session on Zoom with me, where you get to pick my brain and ask me questions. Let me show you what everybody is going to get this month if you're a part of Kids Matter Pro. This is what you get this month. Members of Kids Matter Pro get Thumbs Up or Down Volume 1 for free. They get Name That Food for free. They get What's Different for free. And they get the song Come and Dance from All Stars Kids Club for free. These, if you just buy them, cost more than what the monthly membership to Kids Matter Pro is. So it makes sense to join Kids Matter Pro, especially those of you that you're enjoying the site and realizing how much of a help it is to you in your children's ministry. All right, Kid Men, thanks for joining me on today's coffee chat. Looking forward to talking to you this weekend on social, and we will see you back Monday for our next coffee chat.